right, so learn to detach yourself from certain outcomes and or situations. When it comes to love, relationships, people, family, opportunities, sometimes it's best to learn to detach yourself from having an expectation of any type of sort of outcome, because the expectation that you may have may be minimum compared to what the outcome is going to be. Meaning, like, you can have an expectation that something is not going to work out in your favor in the way that you want it. Maybe you want $10 million, but somebody might come with you with 15, but you came with the expectation of 10 million, and you might speak or do something or act a certain way or have the energy of lack and non-abundance that is not going to allow you to be able to coordinate that transaction and understand that this person could be offering you more than what you see in yourself. So don't always have a certain expectation, or it can lead to disappointment as well. Of course, like I just don't want to hone in on the negative aspects, but of course the negative aspect is that it creates space for God to give you opportunities. Expectations create room for disappointments. Unreasonable expectations create animosity or resentment. So in this society, you may have people that have expectations when it comes to relationships. If you're a man, your girl might have expectations that you may not be able to meet, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're honest with yourself and you're honest with that individual. And vice versa, you may have a dude that has unrealistic expectations. And I'm really honing in on the unrealistic part, because when you have unrealistic expectations, you're placing your selfish desires on a pedestal over the universe, trying to create what your true desires are and manifesting it in that way. So definitely learn to detach from certain situations or outcomes, because a lot of things can work out better in your favor than you even know. And it's like this, sometimes you may feel like you having a delay, but that delay can be the difference between life or death. Sometimes you may feel like you made the wrong mistake, but that mistake may be the difference between your success or your failure. So you have to understand that as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and moving in the purpose that you're supposed to move, you're always going to be aligned. And when you detach yourself from situations or outcomes, and you're allowing God to work for you, and instead of resenting what is not happening because you want it to happen in a certain way, you may not be ready for what you think you're ready for. It might take a couple years, but time is really non-existent in a way that the couple years may not make a difference if you have the wisdom to obtain what it is that you desire. So it's best to definitely save room for God and the universe to transpire in your favor, right? So another thing, I just like to touch on what it is that truly, what I feel like, these are my feelings, but I would like to touch on what the difference is between what they call bougie or high class or elegant or fancy, I would rather say. So I guess one of my pet peeves would be is that when people use the word bougie, I think it's not the most, sophisticated word, would you say? It's very much I would say, it's some more of a, how do you say, hold on. It's derogatory. So, all right, so I would say it's derogatory just due to the fact. So I would say bougie, saying the word bougie is derogatory in the fact that, like, it's basically saying that an individual is trying to portray to be fancy, or trying to portray to be high class, or trying to portray that they have money. And it's like, if you really do that, it's not like you're trying to portray it. You feel me? Like if a person says, "Oh, I'm feeling bougie today," or "I'm going to do some bougie ish," or "that nigga is bougie," you know what I mean? Like it's more of like, it's like you're trying to be something, but I'm not going to say that you are doing that and you're not that. Instead of just saying that, hey, you know, I like your fancy, elegant swag, or damn, she is very classy. You know what I mean? She's very poised, she's very sedity. I would even rather you say sedity. Like sedity is okay, it's just a little more posh, you know what I mean? Like, you could say I'm a fashionista, fashionista, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't, I hate that word so much. And I don't like to use the word hate, but that word just needs to be thrown the fucking away. Right, real rap. Because it's like, yo, if you really do that, you're not trying to do it. It's just like, it's like, I'm not gonna go to a high class Met Gala and say I'm bougie. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're high class, you're fancy, you're more of elegant, you're dressed to the nines, you know, you carry yourself in a very sophisticated manner. Bougie is just a lot of fake. It just sounds fake. It just sounds like, you know what I mean, you bought a fake Louis bag. It just sounds like, and I'm not knocking that shit, like, I mean, like, been there, we've been there, I ain't not, but it just sounds fake, you know what I mean? So I would say, like, definitely change up that joint, man, that joint. I don't like that word, but like being high class and having true luxury is a lot more than fancy clothes. It's a lot more than pretending to live a lifestyle that is not real. Because if you're not doing the whole thing, like, luxury is definitely true luxury. I feel like this is what I would define as luxury, of course, getting up, of course, ideally you want to have abundance of finances, right? So you have the abundance of finances. True luxury is having abundance of finances, knowing how to manage those finances, making those finances grow, building an empire, a legendary one, incorporating martial arts or some type of fitness, parkour, you know, knowing how to defend yourself and your family. True luxury is spending time with your family, doing things with your family, doing things for your family, doing things for others, because when you have luxury, it's a luxury to be able to do and service others instead of just being able to service yourself. So I would just say that true luxury is letting your dreams blossom. You feel me? You probably can't see that, but it's letting your dreams blossom. It's definitely being able to work on your dreams and live in your dreams. That's a luxury. Luxury is not just like going to the most high class restaurant, because it's like a lot of people do luxury shit, but I feel like it's an all-around lifestyle. It's a luxury to even be living. So honestly, like, everything is really dependent on what you define as luxury, but I would definitely say that luxury is it's appreciation, it's gratitude. Gratitude leads to latitude, because it's all dependent on your attitude. You feel me? Like, when you have gratitude and you have a great attitude, this is going to allow God to expand what it is that you have. I didn't just wake up, you know what I mean? I bust my ass every single day, you know what I mean? I bust my ass every single day, but I didn't just wake up, you know what I mean, in something I wanted, you know what I mean? Whatever this house called a female, like, whatever, bro. Like, a nigga work hard, you know what I mean? Work hard, play hard. So I definitely would say that, you know, understanding that it's a grind, it's a luxury that you're breathing today, and you have to have gratitude in what you have today. How can you expect to have more if you're not grateful for what you have today, God, you know what I mean? It's people that have way less than you that's so happy. You know what I mean? It's people that don't have nothing. It's like, yeah, as my, you know, a wise man told me, to the day that you ride in the hearse, always remember that it can be worse. You feel me? Like, always remember that it's you mad about your shoes, it's a nigga with no feet. You're mad about your not getting your toes and nails done, it's somebody with no hands. Like, if you really like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta appreciate breathing, you gotta appreciate walking, you gotta appreciate your health. That's a luxury. So when you are using these things and tapping into these things, like your body, like you have a body, you have a strong body. The human body is, and the mind is so strong and can be exercised more than a computer, because your body is like a computer the way that it operates. That's why God is so magnificent by the way that he created, because we're so intricate as well as beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're intricate beings. You gotta really think about it. It's like, it's no difference than this laptop. It's no difference than the cell phone. It's like, we're all hardwired in certain type of ways. So you gotta appreciate that. You know, that's a luxury that you have a commonality of functions that you can utilize to tap in and hone in on certain skills that you may already possess and don't even know or don't use because you're stressed or you don't want to abuse or feel less and used. Bars. Come on, man. But yo, alright. So this is my favorite one. Alright, so word is fucking bond, you heard? I just had to say it like that because I'm from Philly, but I'm not from New York. But I love the way they talk. You heard? No, real rap. Word is bond. Don't ever forget it. If you're a man, honestly, if you're a human, I feel like word is bond. If you tell me you're gonna be there at 8 p.m., I expect you to be there at 8 p.m. Now me, I'm not gonna fraud. I be late. I don't try to be late. I'm definitely better than that now, but. You know what I mean? I'll be fashionably late, we'll say that. But I'm definitely much better with it now. I don't like being late. I don't sit there and brag about being late. It's just, I'm being honest. But I definitely communicate. I've learned the power of communication through being late. I learned the power of communication and coordinating certain things that would align better when you communicate with people and let people know what's going on. And sometimes what you might consider as being delayed might just be right on time. So I will always suggest to be on time, because nowadays I am on time, but I have been somebody that hasn't been on time and learned my lessons. I'm naturally from the East Coast, so I've always been on both of the spectrum. I've always been on time, but sometimes we slack or we might get distracted. So now with tunnel vision, we focus and you realize that communication, being on time, and your word is your bond. Because it's in the Bible, don't quote me on the scripture, but I believe it's in Psalms. And Psalms is a great scripture or passage to read due to the fact that you learn so much. You learn wisdom. Wisdom as a man is how you lead women. If you don't have wisdom, I don't believe that you can lead a woman. I don't believe that you can lead nothing. I don't believe that you understand life when you don't have wisdom truly as a man, or you're not trying to apply wisdom that you have as a man. Because wisdom is like this. I feel like if you're not wise, then you're insane. Why are you insane? You can be insane and not know it. Because if you're repeating the same things and expecting different results, that's insanity. Wisdom is learning from the mistakes of others to avoid failure in your own life. So you can be smart, but not wise. So you can make dumb decisions because you think that you're so smart, but you lack wisdom. You lack guidance. You lack leadership to lead people, women, choices, children. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have wisdom. It's very much important. And wisdom is knowing that your word is your bond. Like, as a man, you understand that your name is your face. So you have your name and you have your face.